Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. So I got Bitcoin up here on the chart, and it looks as though we're trying to struggle to get out of this mess in here. Bitcoin has been ranging pretty much since the end of the month, end of last month, January 2024. And as you guys can see, that same kind of thing happened here after we saw that last move up back in early December. We were ranging here before we saw that new high, came back down, and now we're finding another price point in and around here that buyers and sellers are feeling fairly comfortable with. Okay, 42,800 per BTC. And so moving to the crypto market here, you guys can see we're not seeing a lot of movement here, mostly red in the space. We're not seeing too much green, say for a few coins like TRX up 2.1%, but mostly red, albeit not by much. Neutral sentiment right now in the space. So it's still just kind of a wait and see period. I'm feeling like, cryptocurrency holders are just waiting for Bitcoin to move to see where their altcoins are going to move next. As you can see, XRP has not moved too much. We're still in and around 50 cents per coin. And so that's just moved down a little bit, but not by much when it comes to any kind of meaningful price fluctuation. The trend line on the XRP chart, mostly by and large, still intact here. So we're just kind of basing, waiting for that next move up for XRP and the other cryptos. One of the biggies, though, that has been hit in terms of, the network is Solana. Solana network suffers a major outage. And guys, this is just happening today. Solana mainnet beta is experiencing a performance degradation, a validator said. Solana suffered a major outage on Tuesday, which is today, the network's system status page shows. Solana mainnet beta is experiencing a performance degradation. Block progression is currently halted. Core engineers and validators are actively investigating. So this was posted on X earlier this morning. Blocks seem to have last processed at 9:52 UTC time. Data from Solana blockchain trackers show at the time of the writing, Solana's SOL token did fall 2% to $94 after the news did come out. So Solana, even though, they were making it sound like the price was falling at a much heavier pace than it actually was. As you guys can see, the Solana chart's actually still looking fairly robust despite this disruption. Not to say that this is good news by any means. As you guys know, I do hold Solana in my legacy portfolio. And, for those of you guys who are interested in what I'm going to be doing next with my Solana, some people are wondering, well, are you going to hold Solana long term? Are you going to hold, some of your other cryptocurrencies long term? Guys, I've got a plan for every crypto, and you can find all that out at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. I'm going to be sharing it with all my Patreon subscribers, and I'm looking to do a Q&A session, hopefully on Friday of this week, but I will let my Patreon subscribers know. I know I was going to do it last week, but a lot of stuff came up, so I did push it to this week. I will be letting my Patreon subscribers know probably by tomorrow, if that is going to occur on Friday, February the 9th. Regardless, the Solana chart is still looking quite robust. And even on the hourly, you guys can see we did see a bit of a downturn for Solana, down to 93.14 roughly on this exchange, but it's starting to move up once again. Going to keep moving along. We've got some more news here from Michael Branch. U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen is set to address the House Financial Services Committee, guys, with regards to, stablecoins. The FSOC is especially wary of stablecoins and the potential for digital asset runs. So now U.S. government, looking for, stablecoins have already been on their radar, but I guess they're looking for more reason to tamp down on them. Janet Yellen is set to tell Congress that the crypto industry poses several potential hazards to the financial system, including the dangers of stablecoin runs on crypto platforms and volatile prices. So this was according to a press release on Monday. Yellen is appearing before the House Financial Services Committee on Tuesday to explain the latest work of the Financial Stability Oversight Council, a group of U.S. financial agency heads that the secretary leads. The council, which is meant to head off the next financial crisis before it happens, has paid special attention to crypto risks in recent years, putting them among the top categories for potential worry. And guys, stablecoins is, they can say what they want about stablecoins and why they think stablecoins need to be tamped down. Really, though, it is an avenue for us, yes, you and me, retail traders, to get out of our crypto profits, stabilize our crypto profits, and then shuffle our stablecoins anywhere we want, whether that is a cold wallet storage solution or whether that is another exchange. I don't know, maybe in another country. I don't know. But really, they want the money to be tracked and traced. So they want a way to, have us do what we have to do if we're, for example, trading, on the NYSE or on the NASDAQ or whatever with self-guided trading accounts where we have to trade out of the stock into dollars or whatever that representation is on the screen and then cash out through regulatory means. They want to remove that stablecoin process altogether. I think that's really the only thing that makes sense here. So here they're saying, the council is focused on digital assets and related risks, such as from runs on crypto asset platforms and stablecoins, potential vulnerabilities from crypto asset price volatility, and the proliferation of platforms acting outside of or out of compliance with applicable laws and regulations. So I think that is the biggie for them. It sounds like they're minimizing it, but this lizard does not want us to get rich, nor do the other ones. But I digress. Crypto regs, guys, especially in the US, because a lot of these other countries already have regulated stablecoins. So I'm going to keep an eye on what is happening next. Just wanted to also take a minute to let you guys know that we're getting very close to 100,000 subscribers, guys. I'm at 99,374. We're trying to hit 100,000, and it was because I was talking about that Ledger Nano cold wallet storage solution. I'm going to be giving away two lucky subscribers, but you got to be subscribed to win. But in order for me to give them away, we have to hit 100,000 by March the 31st. So if you guys are not subscribed yet, please subscribe to the channel. It's been a long journey, I got to say, and I got to thank all of you guys for watching the show. We've been through ups and downs like the SEC lawsuit. Well, guys, we just got some new news here from Eleanor Turret. The SEC has won its motion to compel Ripple to produce its 2022 to 2023 financial statements, post-complaint contracts governing institutional sales of XRP, and answer questions regarding the amount of XRP institutional sales proceeds it received. So this was the latest here. I've got these documents, and I will link this in the description of the video for you guys. XRP JB down here saying, here comes the emotional crowd. I know some people are going to have opinions on this. Like Yassine Mobarak, the XRP community should mentally prepare for still a long fight with the SEC. So, we're thinking to ourselves, well, we've got clarity. We can trade XRP now without, any kind of problem. They've relisted exchanges. So now what's the problem? Is there still a problem? Yes or no? Well, some are saying there could be. Mentally prepare. Okay, so for a long fight with the SEC, this fight is nowhere near the finish line. Both sides are still driven by the desire for a total victory on both institutional and secondary sales of XRP, and are willing to risk it to achieve that objective. Both will be appealing to higher courts after the penalty fight is over. So he retweeted out Prosperity Fund's tweet here, guys. I'm going to go through this, why this matters, Ripple succeeding, and the timing, okay? Ripple has a great concept, okay? Cross-border flows, fast, cheap payments, etc. But the company valuations and the prices of XRP have gone down, likely as a result of legal ambiguity due to the SEC. Even recently, we got David Schwartz talking about the lack of traction in payments and being too early for CBDCs. That was a topic I talked about in yesterday's video, which I will link up here in the top right-hand corner if you guys didn't catch that. Ripple tackled big issues, but governments move slowly, particularly on CBDCs. While Ripple has had some successes with smaller countries, as we know, and more in the pipeline, it has not yet had any major tangible effect, nor have larger countries announced usage. This may be similar to traction other projects have had, like Cortazar 3, Ethereum models, so on and so forth. So payments have a huge market and use case, but traction hasn't been realized globally, partly because US plays a big role in finance. And guys, this is the key here. US plays a big role in finance. I keep saying the US market is such an important market and is not to stroke anybody's ego, but it's just a fact. The sheer size of it is what is, I think, fundamental for this really getting, really up off the ground. And we haven't seen, the kind of movement that we've been wanting to see over the last several years for many reasons. But this is just where we stand right now. So while Ripple did have good judgment and XRP is not in itself a security, the XRP lawyers have shown that Ripple sales to institutions and even ODL sales are security transactions, according to the court. Whereas, if you just buy XRP on exchanges, it doesn't really matter. So again, good for us, and the optics look like it's good for us, but this puts Ripple in a tough spot, as ODL is a major use case for Ripple's business, and if actualized, could be a boon for XRP. However, while it seems possible that Ripple can rework their sales in a court-approved framework, the SEC has noted in recent filings that they may seek an injunction against post-complaint sales and ODL regardless of these elements. Further, it seems Ripple is adding in other use cases such as real-world assets, but will they catch up to players such as Ethereum this late in the game? So that's also part of this story, right? The ETHgate scandal and trying to get competitors ahead through nefarious means. It seems as though After the remedy stage, it's decided on Ripple's fine for institutional and ODL sales. And so both the SEC and Ripple will appeal to the Second Circuit. But why? The SEC doesn't want to lose even retail exchange sales, and Ripple wants ODL excluded as a use case and not a security, similar to how Ethereum is used as gas to run the network, as the SEC's Hinman declared. So what does this all mean? Well, to me, it means likely more delays, less chance of a settlement early on, more risk for both sides if overturned by the Second Circuit, and further delays if Ripple's ledger payments and CBDC's objectives. But do I still believe Ripple and XRP have promise? Obviously, yes. But what does this mean, guys, for the timeline? In essence, Ripple may have been right all along about the global use case for payments and CBDC uses, but their timing may have been off a little for their products, regulatory scrutiny playing an unfair battle, which led to the Ethereum regulatory advantage. However unfair, these are the realities of what's happening in the industry. So will Ripple win in the end? Possibly, but the question is, it's whether it's too late to matter. Share your thoughts below. So Prosperity Fund taking a bit of a negative stance on this, saying, it might just be that, all this is going through and, the incumbents are buying time as Ripple is still tied up in court for Ripple utility to really get off the ground. Now, Bill Morgan's also commenting on this. ODL customers using ODL will not be restrained by an injunction. It is what sales of XRP by Ripple and ODL customers could be restrained unless registered. As I understand ODL, it can work without the ODL customer needing to buy XRP from Ripple. So, we've heard this in the past too, right? Ripple has created other programs and other avenues for their clients to purchase XRP, like liquidity pools and their line of credit, so they can borrow XRP, not technically buying it. Down here, the real issue is a practical and commercial use. If Ripple can't sell XRP directly to ODL customers in the US, is an alternative mechanism commercially viable for Ripple and prospective US ODL customers. So the SEC is well aware of this commercial issue and the pressure it can place on Ripple. If Ripple cannot structure its future sales in a way that is commercially viable and legally compliant, I keep telling people this is a big issue, but I'm not sure the message is getting through. So even Bill Morgan here is, saying this is a pretty big issue. He was retweeting out Anders' tweet here, permanent injunction, meaning can't use ODL anymore. But again, there's always a workaround, I think, and Ripple's lawyers are very smart. Around the globe, Ripple has already been doing this, and we have the proof here. Ripple's Stuart Alderati and Rahul Advani and TRM Labs, okay, this was a policy roundtable, okay, talking about regulatory clarity for responsible innovation, clear definition and taxonomy for DeFi, global standards, and you guys can see TRM Labs did post this down here. So, we're already seeing Ripple wanting to educate, wanting to be at the forefront for regulatory clarity. And unfortunately, it's not happening in the US. It's happening everywhere else in the world. And yet, it's almost like the US regulatory bodies are turning a blind eye to what is happening everywhere else, not, allowing, the other kind of experience that Ripple has in the space to affect their decision in the United States. So this is just another one from XRP Drops. I also wanted to bring this up, guys, from Mr. Man. Not only that, we've got so many Ripple partners partnering up with other companies that are already using XRP in their jurisdictions. Mr. Man posting this. So Lira partners up with India's Nipple for UPI payments. Now, for those of you guys who do not know, NIPL or Nipple, I think that's how it's pronounced, they are connected to Worldline, and UPI also has a connection to Ripple too. This is based in India, which we already know. XRP is a household name, but in this case, France-based payment solution provider Lira has now partnered with India-based NPCI International Payments to introduce the UPI payment mechanism in France. So now it's looking as though this may be moving over to France. According to the announcement, this payment solution allows Indian tourists to book their visit to the Eiffel Tower by purchasing tickets online, making the transaction process quick and easy. With over 380 million users, UPI became one of the main instant payment solutions in India. In 2022, it represented 46% of the global real-time payments. In December 23 alone, it registered over 12 billion transactions, underlying its widespread adoption. Moreover, UPI was extended abroad in 2023 when the Indian government allowed non-resident Indians from 10 countries to use UPI to send and receive money if their domestic bank accounts were linked to their phone numbers abroad. So, another example here of more extended use cases for the XRP ledger by connecting these Ripple partners together. The list of countries include, guys, Singapore, Australia, Canada, Hong Kong, Oman, Qatar, the US, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates, and the UK, the United Kingdom. And so, this is an interoperable global payment system, of course, running on the XRP Ledger DLT technology, using this type of technology for new use cases. In this case, visitors to the Eiffel Tower can now use their UPI-powered apps to securely make online transactions, scanning a QR code generated by the merchant's website and initiating a payment. So one more example, a small example. I know, tourism and the Eiffel Tower is just one example, but guys, the capabilities here for so many different countries, and this is an India-France connection, but so many different countries that need to connect using, different types of currencies. This is where the crux is. This is where the nexus of how, this type of technology is really going to get off the ground and where we're really going to see some more benefits. So a great new use case here coming from India's Nipple and UPI payments and partnering up now with France's Lira partner. So some great news there. Wanted to thank Mr. Man for posting that. Yesterday, I did a video discussing what David Schwartz said in an online spaces. Okay, XRP drops talking about this now. There's no blockchain that people are really using for payments, but David Schwartz, as you guys can see, did kind of backtrack on his statement yesterday afternoon at about 3:23 p.m. I guess I didn't pick the best phrasing. There's no blockchain that people are really using for payments. So he's saying, it's not that the XRPL isn't necessarily the only one that's not gaining traction. He's saying there's no blockchain that people are really using for payments, at least from my perspective. XRPL was built for it and is great at payments, but I don't think anyone is satisfied with the current level of adoption. So that statement, I'm assuming he's meaning those over at Ripple, but probably other payment companies too that are running on the blockchain. Now, what does this mean? Is this good, bad for the industry? Are we going to see this adoption at some point? Ashley Prosper here, commenting a more positive light. Joel Katz, unless you're saying the XRPL is the best blockchain in the world, people will find a way to misconstrue what you say. But I don't watch what you say, I watch what you do. And what you're doing is amazing. Now, she was being challenged on this, Over the Moon saying, with plenty of respect, could you please explain to me what he is doing that is so amazing? Besides blowing up a basic custody business poly sign, ooh, shots fired, and failing to deliver on a cross-border payment system for years that is desperately needed with no latency upgrades, i.e. Solana. One day when you least expect it, you will see. Hey, Ashley, says Rob P. XRP. I totally get where you're coming from with regards to Joel Katz. However, with regards to your posts, you're one of the few out there that I watch what you say as you actually speak common sense and keep it real. So some people still divided on this. David Schwartz did make that comment in response to Mr. HBAR's tweet, which I did highlight in yesterday's video. Oscar Arnerson here too, talking about this. The tech is good, but it's the marketing that could be better. It plays a much larger role in adoption than a lot of people seem to believe. Many factors at play here. I'm going to reiterate that. Jungle Ink here saying it too. I think your phrasing was fine. El Diablo Dictator Know-It-All saying, payments fine, but I care more about settlements, and so does everyone else. Neil Hartner also saying, your explanation of the open loop problem was good. Until we get to payments that begin and end in crypto, native tokens or stablecoins, there's going to be extra friction and liquidity challenges that add cost. So, a lot of factors here that obviously play into this. Now, does that mean that payments are never going to take off on DLT technology? Absolutely not. There are so many rails in place. The rest of the world is already running on, some level of XRP adoption. I mean, whether it's mass adoption, that's very debatable. I don't think we're seeing that mass adoption yet. But guys, with mass adoption, we are going to eventually see more demand for XRP, and the price of XRP will be going higher than what it is today because supply and demand fundamentals will come into effect, right? More demand means more people will be buying it up. And the more people that buy it up, the higher the price eventually rises. So, in a spec market, we're going to see XRP rise based on, the typical spec stuff, but with real world utility. And this is why I'm also theorizing now, hypothesizing, I guess I could say, that, with this bull run 2024 into 2025, we could in fact see XRP get up off the ground because of spec, but really kind of ramp up too, coinciding with that, with the real world utility, because we will have a liquid market. So just a hypothesis. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but for more of my views like this, follow me guys at patreon.com/workingmoney channel. Got to get into some more details. Gonna have a hopefully live Q&A session on Friday. This is also too where I'm going to be sharing my targets, where I'm going to be exiting at what percentages too. I'm going to be exiting my legacy portfolio and my $10,000 plus portfolio that I'm sharing with all of my Patreon subscribers over there. So if that's something you're interested in, check it out. Not only that, guys, we got some more news coming from Jerome Powell. Boom, says Jack the Rippler here, the chair of the Federal Reserve of the United States, saying this: we're also investing heavily right now in building a new settlement system. Listen to this.
We're also, as you know, investing heavily right now in building a new settlement system for instant payments in the U.S. It'll be the first such major expansion of our core payment system since the 1970s. We found the case for this quite compelling for consumers, businesses, and just ensuring that all financial institutions have access to the payment system.
Now, there has been some controversy surrounding this. What Jerome Powell was talking about in that last clip was FedNow. And over the last couple of years, we've discussed some connections to FedNow and XRP. Here is a pretty full article discussing some of those connections here. And I'm not going to go over all of them. But the big one, guys, was the Volente Technologies. If I scroll down here, you guys can see Volente, FedNow's partnership with Ripple and Volente. Could it boost Ripple's popularity? So, you know, there was a lot of speculation about how FedNow is going to run. Is it going to settle on XRP? Are we going to see, you know, the real world adoption using XRP? And some people were posting articles like Mr. Man, proof that FedNow and Ripple and XRP are connected. So how does XRP interact with the FedNow system? According to a recent report, the Federal Reserve has recognized the potential for XRP in facilitating the blockchain aspect of the FedNow payment system. So recognizing the potential is not the same thing necessarily as using XRP. However, through some connections, we are seeing technology providers that are already connected to Ripple, also connected to FedNow. XRP is the fastest and most scalable digital asset, enabling real-time global payments anywhere in the world. But we also have the naysayers, guys. The reserved stoned ranger here posting this. Stop lying to the lemmings. FedNow is not using XRP. So he was retweeting out Chad Steingraber's tweet in which, again, many of us have noticed the connections to FedNow using XRP. But then this article came out. The Federal Reserve's FedNow will connect to Metal blockchain. So not the XRP ledger. Even though it does have the capability to settle an XRP, they are apparently using this one here. The Federal Reserve's forthcoming instant payment service, FedNow, will be connected to the Metal blockchain, according to a May 11th announcement from the Metal blockchain team. The announcement said that the integration will allow Metal users to instantly convert funds to stablecoins and then back again using FedNow's send and receive function. So that was a bit of a blow to the XRP community when that came out. But guys, the story is not over yet. Shannon Thorpe posting this, Let's Talk XRP. A few of you have asked about the price prediction, timeframes, etc. So she was just discussing that. Down here, Motown Crypto was talking about this concept. I do find it curious that FedNow pushed back the date. Then all of a sudden, the Ripple case judgment comes. Shannon Thorpe responding, that's because without clarity, FedNow couldn't proceed if they are really using XRP. I literally told my BF verbatim, if FedNow is supposed to be using XRP like we think, clarity will have to come first because they will not use it until clarity, and it happened. Now, could this be the holdup? Again, the clarity. And again, back to David Schwartz's point, we haven't seen the traction because we have not seen the clarity. Is FedNow going to be finally using XRP, even if they decided to use the Metal blockchain initially when they released the service back in July? Well, guys, I wanted to point out something else to you from Ant1 here on Twitter. Here we go, Jack. We were right all along. Check this out. XRP wallet accounts, which include Bank of Tokyo, First National Bank, Standard Chartered, Royal Bank of Canada, Banco Santander, and of course, none other than the Federal Reserve from back in 2014. Yes, the Federal Reserve does have an XRP account. So even back in 2014, I think they were planning on utilizing the XRP ledger. Of course, the clarity is a big issue. And since we've been going over reasons why we haven't seen clarity as of yet, I think you guys can probably put two and two together why we haven't seen this real demand for XRP yet. But guys, a spec run could help spur this on. And I think by the time we get that spec run, we will see meaningful clarity in the US. But that's just my opinion. I want to hear what you guys think, and please subscribe to the channel. We're trying to hit 100,000 subscribers by March the 31st. I'm going to be giving away 2 Ledger Nanos to 2 lucky subscribers, but you got to be subscribed to win. So like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. I'll see you in the next one.